Every story sounds a little bit different depending on the perspective that we bring to it. Often, this story that we know so well seems to focus on the hardship surrounding the birth of Jesus. It was a rough time. A very pregnant mother traveled on a donkey, giving birth in a stable, all while fleeing threats of a murderous dictator. There's a lot of hardship going on for sure. This year, though, I noticed that all that hardship was met with unexpected kindness. Over and over again, the profound challenges were made manageable when kindness was shared by a whole cast of characters who ushered life and hope into the world. One piece of kindness comes from hospitality. We know there was no room at the inn. Well, it was the busiest travel week ever. Everyone was traveling back to their hometown because of a decree from the king. Think of showing up at the Holiday Inn with no reservations on Memorial Day weekend. The innkeeper must have been completely overwhelmed. In a pinch, he thought outside the box. Kindness compelled him to figure out a way to do something for this tired, pregnant, traveling couple. Giving birth in a barn was definitely not ideal, but it was a whole lot better than being out in the cold. We get so focused on the no vacancy sign on the door that we sometimes ignore the hospitality that did occur. There was a special kindness in the creativity of that innkeeper. Another piece of kindness in the story that's sometimes overlooked is the solidarity that those magi showed to the family. Remember, Herod had told the three of them to come back with any news that they found about Jesus. Herod said he wanted to praise the baby, but the Magi knew what was going on. They were wise men after all. They knew that Herod was insecure, spiteful, violent, so insecure that he was threatened by a child. And in an act of profound kindness, the Magi conspired with Mary, Joseph, and the baby to protect them from violence. Those gifts that we hear so much about of gold, frankincense, and myrrh really pale in comparison to the solidarity they showed to the family by keeping their secret. And of course, kindness isn't just a gift that comes from strangers. Sometimes the most important acts of kindness come from within a family. And boy, does this story depend on some kindness and understanding in a family. To keep the Christmas story a manageable length, we usually cut out some of the earliest pieces. But in the Gospel of Luke, there's a whole story of events and miracles leading up to Jesus. It's the story of a different miraculous pregnancy of Elizabeth, Mary's friend. An angel told Elizabeth's husband, Zechariah, that Elizabeth would soon become pregnant with John, and this was a miracle because they were quite old. And then Mary is visited by an angel to let her know that she too would become pregnant. And the two pregnant women have spent some time together, and Elizabeth's baby responds with great joy, which is an indication that Mary's baby is very special. And probably one of the most important miracles, I'd say, somewhere early in the story, an angel visited Joseph. An angel explained to Joseph that the mysterious origins of Mary's pregnancy. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that a baby showing up from nowhere has to be the number one iconic source of family drama in human history. It may have taken a series of miracles to create it, but the kindness that emerges in this family is astounding. When the going got tough, and it got really tough, the family ignored social stigma and came together to usher life and hope into the world. Instead of focusing on the hardship of the Holy Family this year, I'm reminded of how over and over again kindness served as a powerful antidote. And none of these characters had the resources or the power to make everything okay or to make it easy for this family. But each, in their own very creative way, did what they could to help mitigate the challenges. That's the thing about kindness. One isolated act is nice, but it's not going to change the world. But when we start layering those little acts of kindness, one on each other, something new and different begins to happen. As Unitarian Universalists, we find meaning in the life and the teachings of Jesus more than the miracles associated with him. The miracles continue after this amazing story, but so does the focus on kindness. His ministry was a display of revolutionary kindness, breaking bread with outcasts and adversaries, breaking the rules to heal people who desperately needed it. Even stories of him washing the feet of his own students and acting as a servant at his last meal with them. The life of Jesus and this incredible story of his birth invite us to consider a revolutionary kind of kindness. In many ways, kindness is an act of faith. It depends on a hope. Even if we don't have the power to make everything okay, if we do what we can, something or someone else will come along and keep helping. It's a belief that even if we can't completely fix the problem at hand, if we do what we can, if we nudge the world toward more life and possibility, we will be okay. All of us will be okay. Even when there's no room at the end, may we offer what humble hospitality we can. Even when political leaders shadow the land with greed and violence, let us side with love and compassion. And closer to home, where the heart is sometimes most tender and pride is at stake, may we turn first and repeatedly to kindness to light the way. Amen.